Many of us have been listening to what has been happening to Young Thug in the United States, especially in the state of Georgia. Now, Young Thug has been one of the biggest rappers of our times, and personally, I really enjoy his rap lyrics. But now, Young Thug, unfortunately, is facing a lot of charges put against him. He has been indicted, he has been put to trial concerning murder and also what's called a RICO crime. Now, in today's video, we're going to discuss everything concerning the trial of Young Thug. We're going to discuss whether indeed his confessions in one of his rap music songs is actually going to be used or tendered in as evidence to be able to back up the fact that Young Thug could have been involved in killing a certain person or involved in what's called racketeering. So today's video, let's discuss everything concerning the crime of Young Thug. Let's go. Welcome everyone, Simply Legal. My name is Kahuma, the usual host on this channel, and it's always glad to have you back onto this channel. For those who are viewing from America, from the UK, from China, from Sweden, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and also my fellow Ugandans, please share these videos with everyone who you know will love international content. For those who are also new to the channel, please hit the join icon just at the bottom of your screen there next to the subscribe button, and also hit the notification bells for you to get all the latest of Simply Legal. So this video, we're going to discuss everything concerning Young Thug. Young Thug, like I said, is a very big rapper in the United States and is one of the greatest in our generation. Now, straight to the point, Young Thug is being put under trial right now, criminal trial. So Young Thug at this point has been in court for some time, and it has reached a very interesting point in his case where I felt the need to discuss it for you. Now, they are reaching a point where the prosecution is actually tendering in evidence concerning whether Young Thug had actually committed the crimes that they say he committed. Young Thug has been accused of murder, but has also been accused of racketeering. Now, all of this is put under what's called a RICO case. Now, for my Ugandan viewers, my fellow Ugandans and Africans, I want to explain to what a RICO case is. A RICO case is basically a collection of cases under what's called racketeering. So racketeering is a group of crimes where, let's say, a particular person, let's say Young Thug, has been put many crimes on, actually to a tune of about 65 charges put on him. So racketeering is a group of crimes under which someone is charged under what's called a RICO case. So what are some of the crimes under which a RICO case can be put on you? Crimes concerning murder, crimes concerning, let's say, extortion, bribery, larceny, arson, which is kind of like burning a place or burning a certain object like a car. So racketeering is a group, or it's a group of organized crime under which a certain syndicate is involved. So that's why they call it racketeering. It's sort of a racket kind of format. So under the RICO case, they will charge you as a person who has been doing a number of crimes. So you can be a group of people, but you've committed grand larceny, you've committed espionage, you've committed murder, you've committed arson. So racketeering is a group of crimes under which a nice syndicate of people have committed all of these crimes. So now, Young Thug and his record label, the prosecution is actually basically stating that Young Thug and his record label is just a facade, it's just a fake kind of system, but in actual sense, instead of them being a record label, they're actually pursuing all of these crimes, they're actually committing all of these crimes. So I wanted to explain to you the brief facts of why Young Thug is actually being put on trial. Now, even aside from it being a RICO case, the interesting bit of it is that the prosecution now wants to use Young Thug's lyrics in his rap songs, claiming that he actually admitted that he actually killed this person. So, but for us to be able to enjoy this video further, let's change environment. So the prosecution in Young Thug's case is now tendering in court, stating that the lyrics that he used in his song, where he clearly stated that I never murdered anybody, but I have something to do with his body. They are using that particular phrase that he used in his song, stating that, you know what, I think Young Thug actually murdered this person. Now, it is very, very clear that the prosecution is doing whatever it takes to prosecute and most likely implicate another black man. Now, it's no secret that black men all over the US and all over the world are being prosecuted for different kinds of cases. It's very, very sad that all over the world, black men, whenever they reach a certain level of status or hierarchy, they're always going to be prosecuted, be put on a different case. Well, just like PDD. Actually, if you want to get my details on what I did about PDD and Cassie's case, I'll leave the link in the description or an end card at the end of the video. So let's proceed to Young Thug's issue. So that particular lyrics stating that I never killed anybody, but I have something to do with that body. I killed this man in front of his mama. So they are trying to use that context to state that this was an admission or a confession. Now, this is where things really get very interesting. I want to explain to you the laws of evidence all over the world. Now, the law of evidence, I think all of us know what evidence is. According to the law, especially prosecution, we state that the burden of proof lies on the prosecution. That is general law anywhere, on everywhere. The burden of proof that you are prosecuting someone lies on the prosecution. So this means that he who alleges must basically prove. Now, the prosecution in Georgia, where Young Thug is being tried, are stating that Young Thug indeed has been involved in crimes of murder and racketeering. Now, for them to prove that indeed Young Thug was included in this RICO case, or that he actually murdered someone and he hasn't been involved in racketeering, they need to now prove that, you know what, Young Thug in his lyrics, he's basically admitting that he actually killed this person. Now, what's the difference between a confession and a lyrics? A confession is where you are willfully admitting and acknowledging that indeed you committed a crime. And this in most cases is either during a case or it's either during with the police. So a confession is that you have been put to the test. You have been spoken to by the police or the authorities, and they've asked you, Terry, were you actually involved in this murder case? Did you carry a gun at 9 a.m.? Did you go to Masaka with Moses? Did you guys actually drive to Masaka and then kill Mr. So-and-so, Mr. Mutevi? Then I'll say, yes, indeed. You know what? I killed Mr. Mutevi. I confess I'm the one. So a confession is done under strict supervision of the authorities. Or a confession is that you're basically acknowledging that indeed I committed this crime. I did this. I stole the money. Now, an admission is a little different. The two are one in the same. However, there's a very thin line between them. An admission is when you're stating that, yes, I committed the crime, but you may not necessarily do it in the confines of a police station when the police are around. An admission can be done even when I'm speaking to my friend and the person has put me on record. So I could be speaking to a particular friend of mine and I tell them that, you know what, by the way, to be honest, I killed my two friends, I drowned his girlfriend, and I actually shot the boyfriend and cut him in 2 pieces. Now, if my other friend, if the third party records me stating those things, then that is what's called an admission. Now, a confession, I think you've gotten the point. A confession is when it's done under some sort of supervision where the police have actually asked me that, did you indeed commit the crime? And it's put on record that, yes, indeed, I committed this crime. However, an admission can be done both within the confines of the law and authorities, or it can be done outside the confines of the law and authorities. So an admission can be done at any time. Many cases have been solved by different people, 30, 40 years, where someone even admits on their deathbed that, you know what, indeed I killed this person. So now, when it comes to the issue of Young Thug, the state of Georgia or the courts of Georgia or the jury are now starting to believe that, you know what, Young Thug could have actually killed this person. If indeed the court takes out of context what Young Thug said in his lyrics and then they use it in court, then Young Thug could actually be facing a lot of jail time, or he could even be possibly facing an electric chair or the needle, because crimes of racketeering are very, very grave in the United States. Now, I wanted to just explain to you whether a rap lyrics can be used in terms of a confession. I was doing my deeper research and I found out that so many precedents, or about 2 or 3 or 5 rappers who have been indicted, who have been put on trial, on criminal trial, the prosecution has actually used their lyrics in their different songs to show that this person was actually in his lyrics admitting that he committed this crime. He's admitting that he murdered this person. So there's an interlink between a confession that someone will use in their rap and indeed whether a judge will actually see it fit to be able to use a confession or use a lyrics in your rap song to actually state that this was a confession. The prosecution will have to really put in more and more and more evidence to back up this lyrics. But let's just see where everything is going to go. The trial is still going on, but I wanted to explain that if indeed a judge says that, okay, I've tendered in that evidence, I think we can actually use his lyrics to state that it was an admission. Or in case the judge refuses, then the prosecution will have to prove so much that, can't you see that at the time when he released this song, just a few weeks before Mr. So-and-so died or Mr. Smith died, so indeed I can now prove that indeed Young Thug killed this person because he released this song a few years after this person's death or a few months after this person's death. So we have what's called primary and secondary evidence. Primary evidence can be used when there has been evidence which is directly linking the accused person to the crime. For example, in the famous case of O.J. Simpson, another black American in the US, he was accused of killing his girlfriend at night time. So they had to get a garden rake, which they believed he beat his girlfriend to it, and they got a glove which he used to actually hold the murder weapon. So such timely weapons like gloves, like blood on the crime scene, like pieces of hair which will be used as DNA, all of that is primary evidence. But using admissions or confessions or alleged confessions, like for example the case of Young Thug, using them in terms of his kind of lyrics, to me is what would be called secondary evidence. So of course, in terms of the RICO case, we have the primary evidence where they're stating that Young Thug and his people, maybe we found blood on the crime scene or we found strands of hair. But in this case, the fact that they're trying to back up, it's their case, the prosecution is trying to back up the fact that Young Thug killed this person or has been involved in racketeering. They'll have to use his lyrics in his rap where he said, I didn't have anything to do with his death, but I am involved with his body. So they will have to use those specific words and ask Young Thug, maybe in cross-examination, what did you mean by these lyrics? Did you kill this person? Did you do this? So it's just a way of backing up his case, but it's really interesting how they're trying to use his rap lyrics to be able to back up their case. So thank you everyone for listening to me. Let's just see where this case is going to go from here onwards. I mean, it's truly Terry Kahuma. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and please join the membership icon by just clicking the join icon just below where your subscribe button is. Until next time, oh please, before you leave, just look at these other videos and playlists where I discuss more and more simply legal. Until next time, bye.